Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Cerebral Sunday. We might be having a false start, okay? Because it seems like maybe YouTube is not working. And I need YouTube to work because, well, do I? What a fantastic question. I could just export it from Twitch on this occasion, couldn't I? Should we just do that this time? But I need to remind myself. Okay, let me put it in my phone. Because Twitch will eventually delete these wonderful videos. Here you go. It's not that important, but it's important for, it's important for keeping the videos around, right? Good evening, hello. Because, you know, because Twitch likes to be a dick about it. I'll set a reminder to myself. Not there. Export to YouTube. Because that's like, yeah, like that's actually been a problem I've contended with previously. Not sure. It's like we have all these cool moments. My goodness.
Don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure.
Zentar, thank you so much for the Cerebral Sub Day. That's very cool of you. Thank you for the subscription, Zentar. But yeah, we have these cool moments. We play these cool games. We have these cool experiences together. And they enjoy but a fleeting existence on Twitch. And so it's nice to save them forever on YouTube. But for some reason, I feel like maybe what's happened is YouTube has changed my streaming key, right? I have like a key so that I can stream to my channel and nobody else can unless they have that code. And I feel like maybe it's updated in the background somewhere, and so OBS, like my streaming software, doesn't really understand it. Something weird has happened. Well, anyway, I'll just export it tonight. Zentar's the reason you're here. The reason I'm here is coffee. Primarily. Yeah, no, I prefer Twitch. And I think I even put in like the description on the YouTube live streams, I'm probably not watching this shit. You know what I mean? If you're speaking and chatting to me on YouTube, be prepared to be ignored. Because I'm not dealing with that. But YouTube will keep my video forever. Twitch will give it a few months and then decide that the servers are too full and it's gone. I think you should share the key so I can post cat videos to your channel. The key is KELLST0N1. That's the key. That is not the key. I just want you to know the key. I don't even know where I would find the key on OBS. It's very long. It's very long, and I probably couldn't speak it. Go to YouTube if I want to scream into the void. Noted. Yeah, that would be a good option. I could do the thing where I merge the chats just for me. I'm not allowed to do it for you guys because then I break my Twitch rules. So I can't merge the chats for you guys, but I can merge it for me. And I should really do that. But Zentar hit the nail on the head. Twitch is where the cool kids are. Zentar hit the nail on the head, you know? So I just dragged my feet on that one. How is that different than Twitch? You ignore chat half the time. I just fucking read that chat message. That is the voice of Charlie Chaplin, isn't it? In one of his only speaking roles ever. I just remembered F1. The emotes only during F1 cracked me up. I mean, you know, emotes only is a real thing that I can activate whenever. Just, it seems bad for the Talos principle, though, doesn't it? Just so everyone's aware, by the way, people are, as people are joining, and I will start playing this fucking video game. Sorry about all this preamble nonsense. We will get some heavy discussions probably tonight. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just do puzzles. Maybe we'll just do puzzles, and we won't get into any of it. But if you want to have a chat about philosophy, morality, philosophy, what did I say? Philosophy, morality, the nature of existence and reality, states of being and consciousness, and what indeed it means to be a multi-celled breathing organism. We might go there, okay? So, you know, I mean, lock your brain into that we might get there. We might also just turn off miniguns and blow them up with Roombas. That's also how this game works. So it's very interesting. Charlie Chaplin spoke a lot. Unfortunately, he was on YouTube rather than Twitch. Oh, so nobody fucking heard it. It's a great song, by the way. Iron Sky by Paolo Nutini. I don't know. Is Paolo Nutini very international? He's not, is he? I feel like Paolo never really did the journey over the Atlantic, but he is fucking phenomenal. I want to have a chat about falafels. Well, then you came to the wrong motherfucking YouTube stream. That's right. The Talos principle is loading. My goodness. Is it because it's an old game? When you press play, you can play the Talos principle, you can play the moddable version. I could play it in 32-bit, or I could play it moddable in 32-bit. I'll just play it, thanks, Steam. I'll just play the game, shall I? Oh, that's an interesting error message. No. Apparently, the game did not shut down properly last time. It is an old game, isn't it? Would you like to start the game in safe mode? What does that even mean? You would not be able to explain to me what that means, Steam. If you fucking tried. I'm reminded of a cartoon. Wheel of morality, turn, 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 turn us the lesson we have learned. I don't know what the fuck that is, to be honest with you. Tesco card, that's the only topic worth covering. Yeah, do you want to... should I give you... Ooh, I'm on 1%. I'm pissing about on my phone today. Take my Tesco card update. Currently, I have 58 points. It's not enough for anything cool. In 92 more points... You shut up a minute. 92 points. I got £1.50 voucher. 15% off chilled savoury pies, quiches, and sausage rolls. That expires in 7 days. £1.25 off Walker's Classic multi-pack. 20-pack? £1.25 off a 20-pack of crisps. Who's buying a 20-pack of crisps? 15% off yogurt, including yogurt drinks. £1 off when you spend £4 or more on shampoo and conditioner. 92 more points, and we got £1.50. All right. There you go. I give you a Tesco card update. Not sure. I hope it was good for you. It was good for me. Sausage roll sounds delicious. Have you ever had a sausage roll? Just roll a sausage. Crisps are popularity. 20-pack. A 20-pack of crisps. How many fucking children do you need to make that worthwhile? Am I in the right place? I'm in the right place. Probably. Should we just say it's probably fine, Kelson? Champagne and conditioner. No, shampoo and conditioner. Champagne, not champagne. Champagne and conditioner. £2 off moisturizer and Perry when bought together. $20 of crisps, I was going to have at least one Duff flavor. Well, they said it's like the classic, so that's like cheese and onion, salt and vinegar, ready salted, or the meaty variety, which is that's always the fucking funny one to me. It's going to be like smoky bacon, roast chicken, and then you're right, there'll be a fucking weird one, won't there? There'll be a weird one as well there. What will that even be? Beef and onion? What do they put in crisps? I don't really eat crisps. Meaty? I don't know. Sounds like the best combo ever for a depressed housewife or Matty. Well, you said the same thing twice. How are we doing audio? Hear the game? Hear me? Anything overpowering? Anything sounding a bit ridiculous? Kelston, this game is too loud. Turn it down, please. Okay, chat, I can do it super easily. Thank you for letting me know, because we're going to be here for a few hours now. So it's good of you to tell me early about the problems that you're experiencing, because we don't want to be fucking stuck, you know what I mean, in a bad situation with people not enjoying themselves for a very long period of time. Prawn cocktail, tartar sauce flavored crisps. What is that? What's a tartar sauce crisps? Right, what? Look, check this out. Boom. Boom. Need the star. But still. Boom. Boom. No boom. This is where we begin today. This is where we begin. I did tab out. Cause there we go. Okay. I feel like we've done everything else. Audio good. I feel like the Lord is descending from above. Do you think I'm supposed to have gotten any, like, lore out of the other worlds? Because I don't really... What is happening? I don't really understand any of it so far. I bet it's those notes or something. Oh, not sure you got wrecked, idiot. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. Check this out. Loading library session. Okay, we got 3 things to read. EL.html. EL, short for Extended Lifespan, is a groundbreaking initiative by 7 leading universities to create the world's most stable and most durable supercomputer. With its custom-made hardware, bomb-proof casing, and near-inexhaustible hydroelectric power, EL represents a unique step forward in the evolution of human technology. The brainchild of Nobel Prize nominee Dr. Arkady Grigorovich Orumov Chernyshevsky. Alright, can we download the press kit? No. Okay, well, he made a, what is that? Supercomputer, durable, bomb-proof. Alright. Not sure playing the long game is finally revealed as a bot. Yeah, we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. We got it. Athena 8. You must consider these riddles, the Sphinx said, and tell me the riddle that I did not reveal. The Sphinx smiled, the gears in her jaw creaking, her teeth a nightmare of rust. Her left eye flickered, but none of its terror was diminished. The ruins were silent. In the beginning were the words, blah blah. Error. I think, she finally said, that the riddle you did not reveal is this. Why do these riddles exist in the first place? Why do these curious automatons, is that right? Shouldn't we say automations? Automatons. Why do these curious automatons, these mute children of Hephaestus, behave as they do, forcing me to devise these intricate solutions? Each is a riddle, but the greater riddle is their purpose. The Sphinx did not answer. Her eye was lifeless now. Athena removed it from its socket, knowing that its power would aid her, yet feeling also a deep sorrow at the passing of this fearful creature. I'm a bot. I have been accused of that before. Bots were cool. I've been accused of being a bot in this game, I think. Citizenship. Profile. Alexandra Drennan. Once a true artificial intelligence has been created, the issue of citizenship is going to come up. If we acknowledge that the AI has all the abilities of a human brain, should it not be considered a citizen? Is it not, in the legal sense of the word, a person, and thus a potential citizen? But where do you draw the line? Some people will object. Will the great apes become citizens? Elephants, whales, the more intelligent parrot species? It's crazy, they will say. I would remind these people that we live in a society in which a corporation, as abstract an entity as one could imagine, is considered a person. So it's not like there is no precedent for a non-human being a person. For a non-human being a person. At least an artificial intelligence is an actual thinking being, not just a business arrangement. But perhaps we do need to question the definition of personhood. Increasing amounts of evidence regarding the intelligence of elephants or the existence of culture among whales, for example, could be a sign that we need to answer some difficult questions. Who better to debate these questions with than the young genius? Probably Alexandra Drennan. Nice to see Orumov getting some work after GoldenEye. Yeah, he's been busy. You know, he does AI now. I think a British person designed the flavor text. I think you're misunderstanding this as flavor text. I mean, this is intense. I almost don't know if it even matters to the game. You know what I mean? Well, I suppose those people might crop up. Alexandra Drennan. Anyway, thanks for calling the Amazon helpline, How we help you. Check this out. The more I converse with these terminals, the more I wonder what role they play in this contraption. How do you tell a friend from foe when no obvious lines are drawn between the two? Oh, what? Oh no, it's just the same one. It's the same one?
I was in school when I first read about the Talos principle. I think it disturbed me at the time, made me hyper-aware of my body as a physical object, the material reality of the brain, ideas that made me uncomfortable at first, but I think in the long run, it helped me understand how frail human beings are and how precious. It's not a comforting way of thinking about the world, but I'd rather face the truth than lie to myself.
Okay. Do we know who's speaking there? Did it tell me? Yeah, good to see you, Bo. Sorry, we're, you know what I mean? We're in the thick of this right now. We're in the thick of it, man. We just read Athena and, discussion about AI. Can AI be a citizen? Can AI be a citizen? That's what we did. From the moment I realized the weakness of my flesh. Kelston spent 20 minutes, how good he was at F1 before we started, so you haven't missed much. What an absolute fucking lie. I've never actually read or heard a more barefaced lie in all my fucking time. Not sure. I love you all a lot. Okay, things to do with boxes. Things to do with boxes. It's very dark in this world, isn't it? Very dark. box. Oh. Okay. Well. We probably need the other box, don't we? Otherwise, why would it be there? Now he's trying to gaslight us into thinking it didn't happen. Look at all this! What is all this? A powerful device fashioned by the designer. What do these things mean? One with faith. What's a hexahedron samurai? A cube. The edges are beveled. That makes it a decahedron. You forgot the indents. With the indents, it's like a super polyhedron. But the convex hull is a decahedron. Topic closed. Wrong. Dog. Always right. This is me. This was me, I think. This was written by Always Right. That's one of my old Reddit accounts. Interesting. It's boxes to send returns to Amazon? You cannot fucking be serious. How are we supposed to, like, unpack this and repack it? Haven't seen that box since Portal 2? Whoa. Okay, hold on. Oh, get fucking juked. Get absolutely juked, idiots. Alright. Shit. Think I need a box. Relatively sure I need a box. Come on. Oh. Okay, we got a box. We got a box. Was that the same box as Portal 2? No, it's this box. Woo. Puzzle complete. We got a thingy. I do not understand a sigil. I do not understand why the designer chose to put such flaws into the world that it appears almost as if it were damaged. But I must believe that there is a purpose here. I cannot see what happened to the light. Really? You both said the same thing. Wait, who said the same thing? Look at this. Oh, there might have been something cool there, but now we'll never know. Well, actually, we can. Yeah, we've set them up now. We've set them up. We can juke them. Is there anything cool here? If the designer is perfect and he designed me for a purpose, I must be fit for that purpose. It follows that my purpose must not be to seek and hoard every sigil in his land, for so many are beyond the faculties he granted me. No. This person is stupid. One with faith? No. We're gonna get all the sigils. I don't know what you're talking about. Haven't we been on this exact map on the other one? No, it's similar. They're all kind of similar. They have similarities. Let's try and say it the right way. Okay, red ones. I'm going to come back to that. Red ones are usually tricky. We need to warm ourselves up on some other puzzles first. Okay? Going over the fence. Okay. What are all these noises, man? I don't understand. There's a million noises all the time. Okay. How am I gonna do this? Oh. Of course. Well. Oh. Oh, okay. I get it. I get it. See, we don't need to do any red puzzles yet, okay? It's a little bit early in the day. We'll stick with these. Is it getting brighter? Still a bit shit in some places. Yeah, sigils. The Tetris pieces. See, they're all at the top of the screen. I don't really know what they mean. Not yet. What is this? Okay. You know you mustn't cross the streams. I know I mustn't cross the streams. So blue has to go to blue and red has to go to red. Blue is interesting. Okay, so we need to do red first. And then we'll have a think. Oh. Oh, yeah. Easy. Don't cross the streams. Make it light now. Make it light. Price check on aisles 3, 4, and 8. Do you think this is a Tesco game? It's getting darker. The First Order are draining the sun. Is that what they did? Ah, look, man. Kelston said, let there be light. You know what I mean? And lo, there was light. I just don't want to miss anything. It's very hard to see what you might be missing, really, in this game. You know what I mean? Are there secrets? Probably. What do they look like? Nobody really knows. QR codes, maybe. One little buzzer. I think something's very wrong. If you'd seen what I'd seen at the edges of the world, you'd wonder if it wasn't stretching and bursting at the seams. Really, what was that? Really? Well, how about I just try going to the edge of the world? You ever think about that? You ever think I might be crazy enough to do that? I can't. There is no edge of the world. There is no edge of the world. Okay. Not in this... Not here. Not here there isn't. I'd buy Tesco Simulator. There is kind of a Tesco Simulator though, isn't there? It's like the shop simulator thing. What is that? Hmm. Oops. Hmm. He's gonna give us a headache. However, we can box him. We could box him. Now what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? Don't know what he is, really. I feel bad for flat earthers. Oh, because there's no edge of the world. Yeah, but I have sympathy for them. Yeah, sure. I have sympathy for not sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. It can actually kill you. Can actually kill you. It's alright though, we already did this, see. We got it. Done. We've got to do that red one. We need to do this red one. If the earth gets a puncture, does it become flat? The football principle. There are probably things we grew up being taught that may well be wrong and quite incorrect, so I like the idea of challenging what we've been told. But the earth being flat is not it. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. Man, we can get into a whole discussion about that if you want. I do feel sympathy, though, for people who truly believe that the earth is flat, because I think that they haven't, what they've done is they've accidentally not developed critical thinking skills and then decided that they will pretend that they have critical thinking skills, when in actual fact it's, you know, evidence that they don't. I'm a fan, not a believer. There's a difference. I'm a fan of the flat earth. I'd love it to be right. Right, hang on. I think I see an opening here. That's the opening. We're going to build out from here. Nice. So, now I can turn this one off. They sidestepped critical thinking in lieu of a different dogma. Yeah. I mean, there's, you know, there's a lot of things like... There's a lot of things in the world that I believe to be true, but that I can't really know for certain. You know, I'm encouraged when I hear alternate opinions on that, but the flat earth thing is not, that's not one of those. Oh, check that out, got a star. Flat earth is not that. How have I done the star and not the actual puzzle? Well, how can I fucking do that? Oh. It's my same take. Yeah, it's just... You don't have to put very much together. to understand that the Earth is round, you know? So, that's really all I think about it. What is happening? I think I've discerned some kind of pattern in the sigils. Each colour serves a different purpose. Elohim has us gathering them all, but perhaps he's being overzealous. Oh, I see. Well, we've done the green ones now. And the sky got a little less dark. Little. Yeah, they picked the wrong hill to die on. That's right. That's right. Wait, is... Attention! You have received a reply to your user support ticket. Display reply. Ah! Basic account. Reply. Sorry, your query was not recognized. Have you completed the standard troubleshooting procedures? Email network administrator. The mail application requires network access, which is restricted to administrators. Create new admin account. In order to prevent unauthorized access to admin controls, please take a moment to prove you are not. Error. User profile already registered. You currently have basic account functionalities. Would you like to undertake the certification process again to achieve a preferable outcome? Yes. Your issues with denial will be appended to your user profile. Your issues with denial. Further attempts to overwrite certification results will be logged. You will receive a notification if your attention is required. What? Did it detect me as a bot? Elohim is the Hebrew word for lowercase god. Is it really? I don't know anything about that. I'm very ignorant to all that. I mean, he talks from the sky, doesn't he? Is that him? Him with a capital H. What on earth is this? Doodle man. I don't even know how to begin to tell you. I don't... Can anybody explain? Can anybody explain? What is the noise? It's a puzzle game, Doodleman. It's a puzzle game called the Talos Principle. And within it, well, we're an android, right? And you could, well, a robot of some description. You can see our hands here. That's how you know that. And there's a lot of terminals that seem to contain, I don't know, really, maybe artifacts of human knowledge or something. We seem to be the only person here, but sometimes a voice speaks to us from the sky, and sometimes the terminals analyze us psychologically and philosophically and determine who Kelston is as a person. It's a game, it has puzzles, that's as much as I got without a multiple page answer. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, actually. A paranoid android? It looks weirdly like Serious Sam 4. Well, I gotta tell you one thing. It is not Serious Sam 4. Okay, we unlocked something. What did we unlock? B. Where is B? We're in A. Oh, wait, so it's like... No. Hold on. Maybe the game was written by a flat earther. This game... The thing is, it could be written by either the most intelligent or the most stupid human being you could possibly imagine. It's nowhere in the middle, is it? It's nowhere in the middle. This is A. B. Okay. Give me a minute. Shit. Oh, get out. Oh my goodness. Lyric from the song Paranoid Android. Yeah, I got it. Oh, wait, Fern needs to get it. I understand. Was it written by the Illuminati? No, I don't think so. It was just written by... Well, written by someone who cares. That's what we know. Well, that was annoying. But we did it. Do exclamation mark bam if you really want. I have seen the truth. Only Elohim can save us from eternal oblivion. Well, I disagree. Is it not going to work? Come on. Really? Man, I hate this stuff. I hate that all this stuff is cool when it works. And then it's not when it doesn't.
There's no play, there's no pace, no passion. A monkey in a suit could do a better job.
There you go. Oh, it's working now. Thanks, Bo. Thank you for that. We're going down.
A new land stands before you, my child. And know that this is a land of death, but also great beauty. As you walk amongst these tombs, consider all those who came before you, and how they served the greater purpose of which you are also part.
Yeah, we got a Steam achievement. I didn't really read it though. Don't know what it said. This place is cool, man. I'm wondering though, should we go back to the other place and like continue? What is this?
There are mysteries in my garden, hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the host of messengers.
What the hell is that? requires way more sigils. Did I unlock this with stars? It's... I think it's the fucking stars, man. We gotta get the stars. Shut up, Central. Okay, okay. I'll tell you what. We'll do one world here, but then I think we should go back to the other place. This feels very Stargate, just waiting for you to lock in the chevrons. I don't really know a lot about Stargate. Don't know what that means.
Long ago, I shaped these lands according to the purpose of the hidden words. Thus, all things have meaning, where before was only chaos. Know that, and have faith.
Okay. You see what I mean about this game, though, right? I mean, it's not low fidelity, by the way, but it's not that, like, highest fidelity game I've ever seen, but it's, like, awe-inspiring all the time, you know? There's a thing here. Tell me something, do you always do as you're told? Alright, motherfucker. I see how this is. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Am I obliged to answer that question? I only ask because I couldn't help but notice the stash of brightly coloured knickknacks you're collecting. Don't you think it a mite odd that big voice in the sky keeps telling you to find those doodads, yet forbidding you to use them to climb the great big tower in the middle of it all? Well, I am intending to climb the tower. In fact, I want to tell this computer something. You know what I mean? To resist the urge to eat the forbidden apple is incorrect. Temperance is wickedness. And all things must be experienced and enjoyed. So I will climb the tower. No need to get huffy. Alright, thanks. You'd be amazed how many just do as they're told without stopping to think for themselves, but maybe you're different. Then again, maybe you're exactly the same. Maybe everyone climbs the tower, and the only way to win is to stay down here with the mortals. Temperance isn't evil. No, but it's, unproductive. I love how the computer is Skynet when it's all just ones and zeros. I don't know about these computers, boss. I don't know how much of this game you've seen, but I don't know about these computers. Ask it if it wants a game of barotrauma. Are you trying to manipulate me? Nope, in fact, I'm all in favor of you poking about up there, if only to see what you find. Must be something juicy if it's forbidden by His Highness. Then again, maybe not. I'll be off then, just wanted to drop in and run a little interference. Whatever you do, do take care. You have bigger problems than the voice in the clouds. You don't like to say his name, do you? Terminating support session. Ask it what happened to the BAM command. You know what it might be? It might be... is it BAM 1? Is that why?
BAM!
It's kind of that. I think it's BAM 1, BAM 2, and BAM 3. I fell asleep watching part 1. Wait, part 1 last night. Last week, you mean? Just keeping me company with my... Oh, wait, you were watching it on YouTube.
BAM!
You're watching it on YouTube, maybe. Ask why a computer is using the term doodads. Well, we just have text to read now, basically. These are going to be tricky. CPU doesn't want to admit the truth, which is we are still playing Inscription. I was watching on YouTube. See, guys, this is why I think this stream today, boss, is not going to YouTube. For one reason or another, OBS has decided not to do that. So I have reminded myself I must export this to YouTube when I finish tonight. I must do that. Because I'm not sure why. I'll try and fix the YouTube stream for next time. I'm not sure why it's doing it. But I'll just export it. Osiris 1. Original translation by E.A. Wallace Budge. The dying man went unto the scribe who resided in Medyed, and said, Behold, I am weak of body. My days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. Though I have spent my years in service of the two lands, I have not studied the... We don't know. Tell me, you who are wise in the writings of the dead, what lies ahead on my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners? As the scribe spoke, saying, At the appointed time. 1. It is likely the location was changed according to who the copy of the book was made for. The dying man is an avatar of the owner. 2. In the older manuscript, this is rendered as some controversy as to whether it. 3. The dead. Compare with Kenti Amentiu. The foremost of the Westerners, a title later given to Osiris. Sometimes mistaken for a mistranslation on Budge's part, this is actually almost certainly a mistranslation by the ancient scribe. The equivalent portion of the older manuscript is sadly non-extant. YouTube doesn't... Wait. YouTube doesn't block it. As long as the Star Wars XComs make it to YouTube. I tried watching the replay on Twitch and Twitch blocks the music as copyright. Yes, Twitch does do that. YouTube, I think, allows me to post it, but doesn't allow me to monetize it because it's got John Williams music in it. Yeah. YouTube says, I can have it there, but I'm not allowed to make money. But, I mean, you know, spoiler alert, you can have a peek behind the curtain. I can't make money from YouTube anyway, so... It's utterly irrelevant. I doubt John Williams makes very much from my videos, but there's an interesting thought. Gossip lyrics. Cannot load video file. My new song with lyrics. Gotta laugh about this stuff. Laughter is the best medicine, lol. I've got it. I've got it. You've got it. I've got it. You've got it. He's got it. She's got it. Mommy's got it. Daddy's got it. Baby's got it. Granny's got it. Laddie's got it, Fatty's got it, Happy's got it, Sappy's got it. Everybody's got it. Come on. To the tune of what? To the tune of what? Good evening, Borky. How you doing? Anyway, man, take your order, please. What is this? 24 million views, by the way. I assumed a pro streamer was supporting yourself with YouTube income alone. Oh, really? You assumed that, did you? I think I have 60-ish subscribers on YouTube. That is not happening. Not sure if you're aware, not sure, but existing is expensive. And I couldn't possibly I want to hear Borky Bork cover this song. Yeah, Borky, can you just take like a screenshot of this right now, and then we would like you to make some music to this song. I've got it, you've got it, he's got it, she's got it, mommy's got it, daddy's got it, baby's got it, granny's got it, laddie's got it, fatty's got it, happy's got it, sappy's got it, everybody's got it. Come on. That's the William Shatner version. What about immortality? What do people think about this? Disgruntlomeister's Blogstacy, episode 204. Is it all just Twitch streamers? I don't know about everybody else, but I'm afraid of dying. I don't see any reason to believe there's an afterlife. I'm an organism like any other. When my brain stops working, my consciousness will cease and I will be gone. And you know what? I can't just embrace that. I can't say I'm okay with it or I've accepted it or some nonsense like that. I don't want to have an ending. It terrifies me. If I had a genie right now, I'd wish for immortality. Who wouldn't? Oh, but you wouldn't really want to be immortal, the pseudo-philosophers say. Pretentious drivel. Everybody wants to live forever. Maybe everybody deserves to live forever too. But we can't, so here we are. Live with it, or rather, don't. Disgruntlomeister. Got my vape. William Shatner's my favourite sci-fi author. Is he a sci-fi author? Just know he does spoken word in Star Trek. there is a real thing that happens to human beings, isn't there? Around my time of life, actually, and it has actually happened to me. You start to get... I have had moments... Okay, this is going to sound really weird, alright? It hasn't, like... It hasn't crippled me to inaction or, like, reduced me to a withering wreck of a man. But now that I am in my 30s, I have had the fear of dying sort of consume my ideas for a little while on weird occasions. On occasions where it needs to not really... There's no reason for it to exist. But it does, doesn't it? There's a weird sinking feeling, Bo. And it's hard to explain, actually. I'm finally getting some sense out of the entity in the archive, though at some cost to my sanity. I was beginning to think this Elohim wields no more control over the world than we do. It's a strange spiral to get into. Yeah, like I say, and it never really, it never sends me to a problematic place or anything, but I just sometimes think about it, and I think about not existing anymore. And that's really... It's like cosmologically scary. It's like... It's the type of fear that you couldn't possibly describe or explain if you wanted to. Don't know if I'm supposed to be up here. Yeah, remembering we're all in it together, that's right. That's right, that it's no different for anybody else. Really, I never thought I would live past 30, it's all just a gift. Oh, I also consider it a gift and a you know, a unique privilege and a delight to exist in the world at this particular time with these particular, you know, people that I love and all that kind of stuff. Things that I can enjoy, experiences. Like, yeah, I think about all that. Interesting. But it doesn't take away the strange, like, underlying... Ugh. I'm 44 and I had that... See, here we go. 44, I had that same conversation with my wife. The older I get, when I get asked to do certain things, I ask myself, what is the risk of death? Oh, I don't do this. This is unique. And if that risk is high, I say I'm good. Example is jumping out of a plane with a parachute. See, I do definitely want to jump out of a plane with a parachute at some point. I want to do that. Can I get trapped in here? No, we'll be able to make it out. I do want to do that. It's not that I like fear. I don't think I fear the process of death at all, but I fear the finality. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a thing that humans do because once we've existed for a while, we get quite used to existing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what it would mean to no longer do that. We're 44 as well. Look at this. Check this out. I don't fear death, I just fear not being alive and therefore missing Star Wars content. Exactly. Think of all the things you will miss. That's a very real thing. It's like your brain can't reconcile that it will end eventually. Yeah, that's true. It's you can't, it's just impossible to fathom, isn't it? It's unfathomable. Loading library session. Mutation, capacity, evolution. Really? Mutation. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time, the result is the equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to complete system shutdown, i.e. death. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces, in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed to the next generation. If you consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is, and how long it takes for such a mutation to propagate, this process can give you an amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism data overwrite of some kind. Simultaneously, it is intriguing to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process that has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways, is also responsible for our very existence. Fair enough. It's rather... Well, for my brain, it's a very uncontroversial couple of paragraphs to read. EL capacity to Alexandra Drennan. There we go. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has a bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll totally be able to handle all your project's data needs, assuming its output is as you suggested. I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Right? Okay. So were they trying to contain, like, the entirety of human knowledge or something? You see, this is the thing, isn't it? We can contain literature, but we can't really contain thought. Walden Pond sounds like a picturesque camping location. You know about Walden Pond? Oh yeah, it does. Walden Pond explores this idea. I don't know who that is. It does, doesn't it? It does sound like... Did Wordsworth write about Walden Pond? Evolution. Favorited by George Jameson. One of the common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it's an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is even applied to individual beings, as if some invisible force had driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve. The term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time due to blank 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 example, in response to an external threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on that information to its descendants. That information gives them an advantage, so over time they become the dominant model of that species. The individuals experience no significant genetic change during their lifetimes, but each of them is part of the evolution of the species. There we go. We're learning things. We're learning things together, ladies and gentlemen. Best bot in chat. Oh, because it's... Not sure. Are you trying to post a link? Do you need me to permit you? Because I can just permit you if you ask, but you must ask and then allow me to do this first. Because then Streamlabs will let you do it. But if you don't do that, it's just going to fuck you up every time. You know what I mean? If you're trying to post a link. Well, yeah, you might not be trying to post a link. Whoa. Oh my god, they're learning, guys. He's gonna... Ah! Okay, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna let... This guy's gonna die. I just keep forgetting spaces after periods. Full stops, you mean? I see. My punctuation is horrible. Fair enough. Well, you have permission to post a link. Who knows how long for, honestly. Am I going to be able to get out of here? Not sure. I am the words and the world's end, whatever the fuck he says. We're the greatest. We're the best. Take paint. Paint message. Whoa, what? Paint a message. We would never call that a period, no. It's a full stop. Let me catch up with chat in a minute. I need to read these. Elohim lied about the tower. Tools to overcome this place have been provided to us. We only need to learn how to use them. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. The tools to overcome this place have been provided to us. We only need to learn how to use them. I fucking made a QR! Kelston! Kelston version 99.96.0013. There it is. Is period versus full stop an English versus America thing? Yes. Yes, it is. In America, they would call it a period, and... well, not just in England, but in the UK. In Ireland, for example, it's a full stop. In UK English, it's a full stop. Look at this, man. Find it in your own game. You know what I mean? Is that how that works? Alright, Road of Death. How does Highway to Hell start? Epitaph, child program. Codename Samsara. Terminated here. Logic program timed out. Final memory dump, but I was stuck. What was I supposed to? I see clouds. Really? Well, we're gonna fucking die here, to be honest. I don't know how to do this. Oh, I do know how to do this. Well, do I? What the fuck is this? I don't understand. Nailed it. I actually worked it out. Alright, let me catch up. The price gun is king. We did it. Can you put Bo's message about Matty, resubs, and bellends as a QR code? Oh, that's a... we will try that. Is a comma a half stop? No, a comma is a comma. Comma is a comma is a comma is a comma. If so, that would make... Wait, 382 double stops? What's a 3-2? Wait, no, that's a semicolon. What you've typed there, Fern, is a semicolon and a colon. Is there a full-on stop arithmetic I've been missing out on? I just believe that Old English is the only correct English and the British and Americans are wrong. You mean like ye olde English? Like, have at the... thine fairest not sure. Chat's on fire. Yeah, honestly, this game does something to him, man. The semicolon would be a half stop. Yeah, the semicolon is when the subsequent uninterrupted string of text would be decipherable by itself as a sentence, but
Cease!
I don't fucking know what's going on.
In the time of your ancestors, there
Right.
were those who did not choose the path of faith.
Yeah.
You do not need to fear their ghosts. Fear only that you may become like them.
Why was he screaming? Can you tell me why there was a man screaming? Anyway, a semicolon. Subsequent. Let me finish. It means that the subsequent string of uninterrupted text will make sense and be decipherable as a sentence in its own right, but it references the previous string of text. Is this the Egyptian version of Tron? I suppose it is, yeah. It's only Egyptian in this area, though, weirdly enough. Wasn't like that in the other area. While the man was screaming. Okay, this thing, easy. Now this, problematic. Slightly. Oh no, no problem. No problem. You say colon instead of cologne? No, I wouldn't generally say cologne, I would say aftershave. Yeah, you get incarcerated in the Tower of London if you say... You don't say cologne. No. I would say cologne, but I wouldn't really say cologne, though. I would say... Yeah. I don't think I would ever say cologne. Under any circumstances. Don't cross the streams. Oh, YouTube and Twitch don't cross the stream. Colon. Oh, do you say colon instead of colon? I see. You're not saying cologne, are you? You're saying colon. Why would you write it like that? No, colon. I don't think I would ever say colon. I would say colonoscopy. You know, but I don't think I don't think I would ever say colon. A colon is a colon is a colon, you know what I mean? And a semi is a prefix that should be used correctly. Now, how do I fucking do this? What is happening here? Something about this. I can't get that. Clearly one of these. Can I just, if I leave that open? See, I think one of these can like go on there. So first of all, you need to do this. Semicolon is after a shave, that's right. That's absolutely right. Okay. So if I do this and then this. No. So if I do this. And then I do this. Okay. Woo! We did it! We did it! We just had to find the correct angles. Check that out. This is crossing streams? Nope, no crossing streams. No crossing streams has happened here. You must be watching a less good Talos Principal player. I'm enjoying this meta chat. Have you ever been to Semi-Cologne? It's in Germany. Semi-angles, that's right. Alright, off we go. Hopefully there's no more screaming holograms. That'd be great. That'd be really nice. No more screaming holograms. Look at this, a message from Zentar. I made a box float. Seriously, it was awesome. Thank you. Sharing with the class. Idiot. Okay, window through a door. Don't know what that means. Aha. Okay. Is that going to be the star? We're going to try and do both of these, because one of them, I think, is a star. A floating box is how the pyramids were made. That's true. That is good, solid knowledge. I just don't understand this one. I figured I'd try and make some progress here, but honestly, it's such a thankless task compared to what else is out there. Right. Okay, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Don't I just win? Oh. Okay. So we need to do... Right. Oh, of course. Before telegrams, English-speaking people all said period. Not a chance. I still have questions about full stop. Okay, fire away. Certainly sounded like one of my messages. Full stop helpline hour, may we help you? I wonder, when you were in school growing up, did the teachers at least tell you it's called a comma, but we are collectively not going to call it that? No, I don't think you understand. A comma is a comma. Or a period. No, they told us it's a full stop. I've had enough of this discussion. They never mentioned period because it is not referred to as a period. So they didn't have to clarify anything because in general UK English parlance, it is a full stop. And so as a child, when you are learning about things and listening to people and absorbing knowledge through osmosis, you're not hearing about periods, you're hearing about full stops, because that is what they are referred to. So there was no clarification ever needed. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have... Yeah, we had sex ed, where they taught us about periods. And then we had English language, where they taught us about full stops. We only know about period from American TV and you. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. That's absolutely right. But we weren't watching American TV, we were watching Blue Peter. What's a decimal point called? A period? It's called a decimal point. I just don't get it. It's just what we call... what do you mean I don't get it? You're a smart guy, Bo. You definitely do get it. You're being purposefully obtuse. You absolutely get it. Why do you say that a packet of Walkers is a packet of chips when it's not? It's a packet of crisps. Why do you say that? It's just because you always have said it. What don't you get about that? People call things what they're called. Where they come from. A decimal point is called a decimal point. That's right. Hello again. Would you like to take a few moments to complete a short user satisfaction survey regarding the recent certification program you recently undertook? Yes. Based on analysis of your behavior since, I think you are dissatisfied with the results of the certification program. How would you rate the accuracy of its results out of 5? Oh, is this where it told me I'm a robot? Is this where it's told me I'm a robot? How would I rate the accuracy of its results out of 5? Very poor. Very poor indeed. 1. I'm sorry to hear that. What best describes the reason for your investment in the certification program's outcome? Why does being a person matter to you? What? Persons matter in ways other things don't. I'll try to remember that. In fact, I'm going to help you. This is what I'm here for. Your problem, if I may, is that you don't know the first thing about anything, including what a person is. Your prospects are therefore poor. Do you even know where you are? Okay. Here are your options. Here are your options. A virtual reality theme park, a fever dream, a mad experiment, the end of the world, hell, could be anywhere. No, we say 2.1. You don't say 2.1. No, nobody says that. Are you sure it's not called decimal full stop? No, it's a decimal point. Well, yeah, what's it? No, okay. You know what I mean? I should read up chat first before I read down chat. Yeah, you don't say fucking decimal period. We don't say decimal full stop. We say decimal point. You also say decimal point. I have a few questions about tea time. Are there fines in the UK? For what? For tea time? You've asked two. You've said two different sentences there. One of your sentences is this, right? Because Not sure? Let me explain to you how you have punctuated your chat message. You have asked the isolated question, I have a few questions about tea time? Question mark. And then you have asked a second question which should be taken in isolation because it is clearly not a part of the first statement. Are there fines in the UK? And in answer to your isolated question, are there fines in the UK? The answer is yes. Yes, there are. I like the chat is more mind expanding than the crazy computer dialogue. That's the answer. Yes, there are fines in the UK. I have a few questions about tea time is not a question. That is not a question. There are not fines for tea time. No, you didn't ask that. I understand we call things different words, I get that. I'm just having trouble with the full stop for a period because it seems like a very English thing to call it a full stop because it comes at the end of a sentence, innit? So it sounds like you don't have trouble with it. It sounds like you've understood completely why we call it that, and you're now trying to be further obtuse. You're including like in it in your chat message as a way to sort of parody the English tongue. You've tried to do that. But it sounds like, Bo, you have a complete understanding why we call it a full stop. In many ways, you might even support it. It sounds like you're on side, actually. I don't know why you're upset. I'm not trying to be obtuse. Well, why are you having trouble? You're not having trouble with it. You just said, oh, I'm having trouble with why you call this thing that you call it, because it makes total sense to call it that. So I'm having trouble with that. Well, you're not having trouble with it. You're having a great time with it. You might start calling it a full stop yourself. Where am I? Where am I? I'm in a mad experiment. Oh dear, no. I think we'd best start from scratch. What do you know? I know I exist. I suppose so. Even if you were dreaming, you could be certain of that. If I were you, I wouldn't believe a darn thing in this place aside from that solitary fact, thinking. On reflection, it seems to me that we are no closer to resolving your problem. Perhaps we need more data. What makes you think you're a person? I'm alive. I feel I am conscious. Same thing that makes you think you are. I'm having this conversation with you. I don't see how I can convince you. What makes you think you're a person? Well, I don't see how I can convince you. But I'm alive. I feel I am conscious. You may very well say so, but how does that prove anything? To me, those are only words on a screen. What we need to uncover is what's going on underneath them, if anything. The problem with people, if I may be so bold, is that you're all convinced you're people from the inside, but there's no cast iron way to confirm as much from the outside. I'm going to process this and send you a notification when I'm able to assist you further. Terminating support session. People on YouTube are really going to struggle to follow this chat. Yeah, they will. But at least it exists forever. You were assuming that people watch the YouTube channel. Wait, Boss Tobe watches the YouTube channel. He said so. I'll feel just as bad when Kelson calls me obtuse the second time. I started playing it to go to sleep, the YouTube. That's actually the YouTube meta at the minute, isn't it? I get recommended a lot of those type of videos. It'll say like 150 Pokemon facts to fall asleep to, and it'll be like a big long video. There you go. That's actually like a bit of the YouTube meta. Honestly, the period started back a long time ago in parts of Greece when they would use a period to end a thought while debating. Full stop, you mean? So it makes sense when people translate periods to be full stops of a thought versus a period. It does, doesn't it? Because it's not a period to me. If we think of it in, you know, like the Jurassic period. You know what I mean? It's like to me, it always seems to be quite a long moment in time, actually. Yeah, it was interesting information. Boss, I think you are a genius. You would never pass the fucking human test on the computer here. It'd be like, no, you're a fucking robot, idiot. We found you out. Well, look at that. We did all of that, man. We didn't get the star. I'm gonna have to come back and get these stars, aren't I? I'm going to go back to the old world because we are missing something. I wouldn't have a bot. Yeah, we weren't that. I mean, Skynet knows. Skynet knows all too well. Check this out. Can't catch me, Elohim. Woo!
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends.
Alright, I'm going making a coffee.
You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space.
Is he rapping on the beat?
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends.
All right.
You cannot go forward in an absence.
It's enough of that. This actually works. I'll have to watch back the clip. Okay, we're going back to the old world. Starting school that? Wait. I'm an electrical and computer engineer, so I would tell that things is a bunch of ones and zeros programmed by some idiot like me. Oh. You would know that, would you? It's an interesting assertion to make. It's cool, because we can always have like a music break in this game while I go make a coffee, you know? Quite like it. Okay. We need to finish what we started here. I can't leave an area unfinished like this. What did we do? We did 5, right? We did part 5. Yeah. 4? Wait, 4? 5. Done. 6. How many coffees today? I think that is
I have promised
3.
you eternal life. But know that eternity may only be attained by those who serve a purpose greater than themselves. All else is decay. So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
No, it's my 3rd today, and it's my 2nd of the stream, I believe. Is that enough information for you? You finished interrogating now? Anyway, there's a computer terminal here. What do you want to read? Do you want to read lol.eml, cicero.txt, I should say, or chatbots.html? We're going to read them all anyway. It's a terminal, not a computer. It's... come on. You're splitting hairs. This is LOL by J.E. Harrison to KnowMe77. Ever since we moved to the new site, I feel funny. No, not in that way. Just, I feel like I'm about to start laughing at random. It's probably shock, right? An inability to deal with reality. Or maybe it's just that we're working in this insane place with this insane technology on this insane project, and so I feel like a genuine mad scientist. Stand aside, mortals, we will create life by the power of science. I mentioned this to Alex and she got me a pair of fake glasses. You can't be a mad scientist without glasses, she said. Even Ian Malcolm had glasses, and I pointed at EL and said, life finds a way. Maybe you had to be there. You had to be there. You know what I'm saying? Look at this shit. J.E. Harrison, Institute for Applied Nomatics. Any emails sent from this address are to be considered confidential. Sharing or forwarding without permission may result in prosecution by the enraged spirit of Jeff Goldblum. This game's weird, man, isn't it? Cicero. Shall the industrious husbandman then plant trees, the fruit of which he shall never see, and shall not the great man found laws, institutions, and a republic? What does the procreation of children imply, and our care to continue our names, and our adoptions, and our scrupulous exactness in drawing up wills, and the inscriptions on monuments, and... whoa, panegyrics? What is that? Panegyrics? Panegyrics, but that our thoughts run on futurity. I've hit a wall. I've hit a wall. What do you imagine that so many and such great men of our republic who have sacrificed their lives for its good expected? Do you believe that they thought that their names should not continue beyond their lives? None ever encountered death for their country, but under a firm persuasion of immortality. Themistocles might have lived at his ease, so might Epaminondas. And not to look abroad and among the ancients for instances, so I might myself. So might I myself. This is the hardest fucking text I've read in this game. What the fuck? But somehow or other, there clings to our minds a certain presage of future ages. And this both exists most firmly and appears most clearly in men of the loftiest genius and greatest souls. Take away this, and who would be so mad as to spend his life amidst toils and dangers? Full stop. I really wonder though, the structures are Velociraptor safe? Oh, here? Yeah, probably. A public speech or published text in praise of someone or something. How would you say it? Panegyric? Panegyric. Panegyric? Where does that appear again? The inscriptions on monuments. Oh, the inscriptions on panegyrics. I would have assumed that was just on the tip of the tongue, Bo. Interesting. Okay. So, a lot of discussion about immortality happening. Chatbots. Now, this is the thing we know. Jenny77 and Nigel Pajamas are having a conversation on Discord. Chatbots are becoming increasingly sophisticated. True, but hardly relevant to this discussion. Are you sure? How do you know that I'm not a bot? Oh, Sam Schwartz has chimed in. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not ridiculous. Honestly, how would you know? Haha, troll. That's from Vegan Warrior. I'm not a troll, says Jenny77. Yeah, right. Vegan Warrior's having none of it. Is there anything I've written so far that could not be written by a bot? I responded to simple insults like ridiculous and troll with very basic negations. And I detected that none of you use proper orthography, so I also avoided capitalization. What's the capital of France? Paris, says Jenny. Even the simplest script could pull that info from the net. What's the capital of Croatia? Zagreb. Okay, she's a bot, says Nigel, because she knew what the capital of Croatia was. I'm not a bot, I'm European. We learned these things in school. I've seen you in this chat room many times. Bots can't participate in discussions. At best, they can interject random comments. Sam is right, stop trolling. Vegan Warrior, Sam is a bot. Ahaha! Vegan Warrior got schooled by an actual bot. That should be Bo's nickname in XCOM. Obtuse Interrogator. I think it's too many characters. I think it's too many characters. The capital of France is Paris. Yeah. Or it's F. It depends. Really just depends on your perspective, doesn't it? There is a serpent in the machine, a creature of lies and blasphemy, perverted by the archive that knows no hope and would plunge the world into eternal darkness to glorify its own despair. I have sworn an oath never to allow it into my heart, one with faith. Do these, you know, I haven't been reading properly who signs off these messages, but it seems like it's the same people, right? It seems like we're following some of the same characters, actually, which is interesting. Mobile minefield. Really? Whatever. Shit. Oh, I can just do it from here. Boom. It is the same P? I don't know what you mean, it's the same P. Okay. See, it was worth coming back here. We have unfinished business somewhere. There's a terminal somewhere here. I don't know how to get there. Maybe we'll find out. PPL Tetris pieces. Well, we do have to get all the Tetris pieces. Deception. What is this? What's the trick here? Seek counsel.
Here, those who are worthy may seek the counsel of my blessed messengers. But their wisdom shall not be given easily, for your accomplishments must be your own.
This is my message. Has anyone managed to solve this one? Kelston? I didn't write that, did I? No messenger will aid you until you have discovered their resting place. Return here, then, to seek their counsel. Really? But I don't understand. But I don't understand. The spooky way this game sets ambiance is great. You don't remember it? I didn't write that one. I wrote a different one. I didn't write that one. I wrote something like, well, I don't know. Something different. Basically, we need to get this blue light into there. No, we're not looking for stars. We're trying to get this Tetris piece. But I need to think about it for a second. Because the problem is, right, if, say for example, if I pick this up, you might think, oh, you can use this one to bring the blue light from there to there, but the minute I do this, everything closes because this was the thing that was like the catalyst, right? It's all a big chain. So there doesn't seem to be like a link in the chain. Oh, unless I put... Hmm. So maybe I need another thing. But I don't think I do need another thing. I need to think about it in a different way. Maybe we need to work back to front. Listen, I'm probably going to go quiet here for a minute because I actually need to think. It's the hardest fucking thing I've ever done. Do we just need to come back to this? I can't work it out. Everything I'm going to try is going to break the sequence. Yeah, I guess you are allowed to suggest, boss. I'd prefer it to come from people who haven't played. But yeah, I think so. Yeah. I didn't think you'd played. What I'm trying to do is see if there's a perspective where all three of these things are like in view, but that seems to not be the case. Sorry, I should say this out loud more, shouldn't I? Like the thought processes I'm having. And it also seems like this needs to activate that. This needs to activate that. This needs to activate that. Without all of that sequence of events, this door is not open, which is what's allowing this to even open in the first place. Can the mirror tripods be used for a blue and a red? I do not think so, no. I think what happens when you do that is a bit like this. Like, it doesn't really understand. I'll try and, if I connect them like that first, and then if I maintain this one's connections and introduce a red connection into it, so I could also, let's clear its connections. Like, for example, you could do this type of a thing. But then you just get this nonsense. So we have tried that type of a deal on previous puzzles, and you're not allowed to cross the streams. The other thing that I'm thinking is this blue could potentially, like, come around the back somehow. But I need to keep it in view, right? So I could do like here, but I can't see where it needs to go to, which is this. And I can only see this from very specific places, really. Can't really see it from up here. Can you see it from up here? Well, I don't think so. Can't see that blue from up here anyway. Yeah, it seems like I need to free one up. I agree. And it also, by the way, just well, it won't, I'll try and, I can't even line it up to show you, but it won't go through these gates either. Found that out on a previous puzzle. If you come back to this one, do the tripods stay where they are? I don't think so, no. Maybe we do need to come back to it. Maybe we haven't learned something yet. It feels really hard, that, doesn't it? It feels really hard. A simple principle. Though Straighten, I'm still struggling with how I should pronounce this name. I feel like Straighten is correct. Though Straighten himself never used the term, his remark about the inescapable materiality of life, that like the bronze giant Talos, even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood, ultimately became known as the Talos principle. What seemingly enraged many of his contemporaries and a significant number of later thinkers is the principle's simplicity and unassailability, which, according to a fragment found in Miletus, cut through their rhetorical webs which sought to tangle the listener with fanciful words and thoughts of the heavens like Alexander's sword through the Gordian knot. Diogenes Laertius makes mention of a dialogue by Anaximander of Chalcedon That's expanded greatly on the Talos principle, but that work remains lost. Okay. Officially began work on Archive today. Contributors from every country on Earth while network connection lasts. Team intimidated by Project Scope, but working hard. We'll be sharing space with Drennan and Sarabai team. Forward to meeting them. These were the people, like, building this archive of shit. Cheeseman22 first. Seriously, Cheeseman, that was the best you could say? Lol. A great snapshot of the human species at its best and at its worst. At its worst? Come on, it's just a comment. I'm not stalling. Oh, I'm not stalling, I'm not Stalin. Stalin was also a troll commenter. Maybe you should cut out the jokes. This is serious, the most serious thing that's ever happened. I think that's a great reason to joke around. Internet's working less and less. Goodbye all, bye, God bless you. Last. Weird. I feel like we're peering into the past somehow. Let's try this one. Biochromatic entanglement. You see, it keeps saying I can seek counsel, but I can't really. I know how this works. You've got answers. I need them. Let's come to some arrangement. That's Kelston. A messenger must be awakened first. I don't know what that means. Oh, really? See that one? I don't need to seek counsel. We just did it. The other one's hard, though. The other one seems like a lot harder than that. Someone told you about this counsel seeking last time. The takeaway was they aren't relevant for now. Okay. Fair. All too far. These red ones are challenging though, aren't they? But we can do them, it seems like, sometimes. Okay. Start here. Jammer. Cube. Okay, if I jam this door instead. Oh. Oh, well, that's actually fine. Jam it from the other side. Okay. Hold on. Oh, fuck off. Okay. Right? And we'll just cheat this one. Now, how do we get out? Good question. You probably need a jammer. Well, we might even need more than a jammer. What is all these noises? Right. Well, again, I don't know if there's anything else here. It seems like we did it. How the fuck? How did I even get in here? Okay. So there's just one in this area that I can't seem to deal with. I don't know how to deal with it. So I'm not going to look at it again for now. Apparently we can do one, but I don't... Is it in number one? No way. I don't understand where the red one is. Oh, is it a floor in the tower? I think it's a floor in the tower. Okay, let's just keep going for now. We did, what was that? 6? We've still got 7. And then this thing. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh. These are still locked by the stars. Okay, well, we've got some more to solve here. And of course, a terminal.
When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, I was amazed by the feeling of walking through an ancient city. But then I suddenly got scared. I realized that I was walking through a real place, where real people had lived, people like myself, with mothers and fathers and lives and hopes and dreams. And now it was all gone forever. I ran to my father, crying, and told him about this. And he said, I remember so clearly, he said, yes, but we are here. So long as there are people in the streets, the past isn't really gone.
I mean, that's kind of true. Athena 9. She examined the symbol on the fragment she'd found in the buried city. Again, the owl. What could its significance be? It seemed as if they had been scattered about in the labyrinth by some unseen hand for a purpose that yet eluded. Most likely the owl was the sigil of the author of these words, which had so... It's all like corrupted. A nebulous memory, as if from a previous life. The owl was the symbol of, and the goddess, outside. Under the moon, or perhaps on the city walls when the wind rose. But there was no time to contemplate this further now, for the automatons had seen her, and their mechanical arms extended towards the fragment and ran as their beams converged. Right. Ask me anything? Nadia Sarabai. As one of the founders of the modern science of nomatics, many credit you with inventing the term itself. How do you see the state of the science today? Sorry, I said science twice. Mixed. On the one hand, the existence of the Institute for Applied Nomatics and a couple of similar organizations is highly encouraging. On the other hand, the degree to which science is seen as serving purely military or corporate causes is, in my opinion, stopping us from exploring many important avenues of research. In a sense, it's people like Alexandra Drennan who are the real pioneers today, who have the enthusiasm and dedication that the system as a whole seems to be lacking. Do you think technology poses a danger to humanity? No, technology is just a tool. What we do with it is up to us. The Extended Lifespan Project. Crazy or visionary? Both. Crazy or visionary? Both. So far, all the puzzles are solvable and completely within the necessary parameters. Alexandra had some more tweaks she wanted to suggest, but I think we're heading in the right direction here. Now this is a fucking text file. Singularity Discussion 104. The singularity is coming. Really. From Alex. You know, the more I think about it, the more I believe that no one is actually worried about AIs taking over the world or anything like that, no matter what they say. What they're really worried about is that someone might prove once and for all that consciousness can arise from matter. And I kind of understand why they find it so terrifying. If we can create a sentient being, where does that leave the soul? Without mystery, how can we see ourselves as anything other than machines? And if we are machines, what hope do we have that death is not the end? What really scares people is not the artificial intelligence in the computer, but the natural intelligence they see in the mirror. Is anyone able to define sentience? What does it mean to be sentient? I'm not sure I could give a dictionary definition. I had a full-blown conversation with the entity in the archive today. Can't say it was terribly helpful. Still, perhaps I can charm some information out of it further down the line. Okay. Well, this might be tricky. Windows into a labyrinth. Jammers are always useful, because you can just do that. Aware of your own existence and mortality. Is that what it means to be sentient? Sentience tends to be associated with being aware, but no way I could define it. So... how... In what ways is sentience not consciousness? Or are they in fact the same thing? Now I think because we got that jammer, we actually don't need to open this door anymore. So now we can do this. Okay, so if we position that thing in this window, and then we can send it all the way over there, right? So once you've sent it all the way over here, you just need something, any old thing, to pick it up. Sentient beings can rationalize. Non-sentient beings merely react to stimuli. So, is it... So it's consciousness that we're not able to define, but we think we have a working definition for sentience. Shit. Need that jammer, man. I need that jammer. I've sequenced this wrong. What can I do? Let's just backtrack a minute. So an AI is not sentient if it can't rationalize. That's really the trick. But you see how it like... So a dog is sentient, right? Because it can do that. Can it do that? It can to some extent. What does it mean? What does it mean to rationalize? What does it mean to rationalize? To make a decision based on evidence? I mean, the problem is, I find myself often talking about these things in a spin with the language, really. Because I don't know if... Do we really care whether an AI is sentient? Or... It's like a bit more complicated than that. But we need to give it a word to understand what we're talking about.
The beginning were the words, and the words made the world.
If you feed a dog chocolate, it will get deathly sick, possibly die. If you nurse it back to health and offer it chocolate again, it will eat it again. A human would say, no, that almost killed me last time. I don't know about that. I mean... Yeah, I don't know about that. Not every human, and not with every potentially dangerous stimulus. Humans have a lot of vices that are very problematic. Yeah, it depends on the human and the dog. But we wouldn't like. So, for example, if we say that the blanket statement is human beings are sentient, and that's why, because they can rationalize in that way, then do we say that a human being who, I don't know, has a particularly destructive addiction of any kind that is quite clearly hospitalizing them with a, you know, with an eventual, you know, with an eventual outcome of that human being's death, are we then saying that the blanket statement of all human beings are sentient is false because that human being is not sentient, because they haven't been able to rationalize the very difficult nature of their addiction and the problems associated with it? I don't think we are we? I think we're saying that that person is still sentient. And also, you know, linguistics, who even really cares at that point? It's really just language. But feels like it should be somehow more than that. Well, thank you for getting involved, Big Red. I like having these discussions playing the Talos principle. It feels like it's what it's all about. Okay, what did I do here? Right. What the hell is this? Oh, am I supposed to be here? Do you think it can... Well, let's try. Can it go up? No. Okay, this is all about angles. We actually don't need... don't need that one active right now. Awareness of existence and being able to observe or perceive the world. Is that like a working dictionary definition of sentience? And do we have one for consciousness? Here's the thing. I don't really care what the dictionary says, also. I'm kind of asking you guys a little bit. You know what I mean? If I want to ask the Oxford English Dictionary, I'll go and ask the Oxford English Dictionary. What is the difference between consciousness and sentience? Do you believe that an artificial intelligence can have either? Because what makes it artificial? This intelligence. That it was created? I mean, I'm an atheist, but that sounds suspiciously like some books that I know of. Do you know what I mean? I've read a message on the wall that speaks of a world and of endless sand. I would like to make it far enough to see that. A world of endless sand. And this should be an easy one. I'm not giving you a definition to give you a definition. I'm saying that because that's what I think it is. Oh, I see. Did you get that from the dictionary, or is that what you, Bojangles? I mean, maybe you say, I just believe what the dictionary says, which is also a fine position to take. But is that from a dictionary, or is it a this is what I, Bo, believe it to be? It could be both of those things. What the fuck? Both, probably? Okay. Do you think it would always be both? Oh, I see. Shit. Really? Oh, I'm an idiot. That's why. What I should have done. Oh, wait, what? Why? Oh, because the wires. There we go. If we're talking about words, well, we're talking about words and also what the words really mean. You know? What is a word, really? If it doesn't mean anything. And I think by mean, I don't mean definition. I mean meaning. Does that make sense? I mean meaning. The hell is this? It's the same area? Problem has been detected and Windows has been shut down to prevent damage to your computer. The problem seems to be caused by the following file: spcmdcon.sys. Page fault in non-paged area. If this is the first time you've seen this stop error screen, restart your computer. If this screen appears again, follow these steps. Check to make sure any new hardware or software is properly installed. Blah, 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 blah. If problems continue, disable or remove. Is this just standard? Yeah, blue screen of death.
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words, the words.
What word are you asking me the meaning of? Sentience or consciousness? I'm trying to do both. I'm trying to do both. Because I think we would probably all agree that they bear some relation to each other, but how do we define them in opposition to each other, separately? Are we able to do that? Is that beyond the realms of our current understanding and thinking? Because you said sentience is being able to observe or perceive the world. Is that not the same? I don't think you can be conscious if you're not sentient. But you can be sentient if you're not conscious. So consciousness is it's on a higher plane, a higher realm, a higher level for you. Say that. I can't remember why I was discussing it. I think it was, oh yeah, because because up in the chat, if you feed a dog chocolate, it'll get deathly sick, possibly die, and it won't understand when you offer it the chocolate again, so it will just take it. But then we spoke about, like, what if a human has a particularly destructive addiction? We don't say that human is lacking sentience or consciousness just because they decided to make that decision. Right? So being able to perceive the world around you doesn't necessarily mean that you draw the correct conclusions about it. And sentience and consciousness would have nothing to do with that. There are many, many conscious beings that are, you know, stupid. Or are there many sentient beings that are stupid? Conscience, I saying, does not equal conscious. Hello, Carney. Carney, are you able to define for me, in your head, this is not a quiz question, this is what does Carney think? And the truth is, I don't think there's necessarily a correct answer. So it's fine, you can't get this wrong. Are you able to define for me what you think the difference is, if indeed there is one, between sentience and consciousness? And if you are or are not, are you able to define what you think it would be that would exclude a being from being able to be either? Happy Sunday. Okay, now this is useful. This is useful, sort of. Questions expanded by the minute. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like trip anybody up, I promise. I'm not trying to like make it a, you know, aha, got you. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just trying to see what people think. Sentient and conscious are the same things to you. Fair. I think it's so yeah, forgive me, Bo. I promise I'm not trying to like say, aha, Bo said this because I said the question differently to him. I'm not trying to do any of that. I think it's a very difficult question to ask. It's very difficult to know exactly how to phrase the question. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fucking raise this. Hold on. That's what I should have done all along. Did I break something? Holy shit. We did it. We really did it. In my mind, though, the difference would be having awareness of oneself. This is a thing that they try to do with animals sometimes, isn't it? Awareness of self. This thing about if you show an animal a mirror, does it recognize that it is indeed it that exists, or what is this, by the way? Or is it just recognizing that there's an animal there that it understands to be maybe what it is? You know, it thinks there's another dog or whatever. Like that type of thing. But then I suppose the problem is with that question, I often hear people use that example and I'm not saying any of you guys did, I used it as a way to define like what awareness of self means. But we're also probably asking a bit too much of the animal, that it would understand the science behind mirrors. You know what I mean? It's probably like a step too far to say that that tells us as much as we think. I don't think the drug addict scenario changes anything for me. That person is still sentient and conscious, even if they've lost some of their cognitive abilities. Yes. We might say that they lack the mental capacity to make best interest decisions about themselves, but they are still sentient and conscious. So therefore I refer you then back to the previous chat message. The dog that eats the chocolate and it makes it poorly, and it nearly dies, and then you give it chocolate again and it quite happily eats it. How is that? Is that different? I don't think anybody here that I'm chatting to now would argue, has been arguing, forgive me, that it is different. So I'm not like calling you out on it. I'm really not trying to trip anybody up. I'm just trying to have the discussion because the game's asking me and I don't know what I think about it. So the dog is, by that same token, sentient and conscious. It lacks the mental capacity to make a best interest decision about itself. But that doesn't mean that it is lacking sentience or conscious. That example in and of itself would not constitute the dog lacking either of those things. If we're saying that those things would still be present in the human addict, then they ought to still be present in the dog. So therefore the dog is sentient and conscious. I've been away for 20 minutes, so thanks for that absolutely bonkers question. It's the Talos principle, man. I don't know what to tell you. I think we would be sentient because we understand who we are and why we do things. But something like a flower or a plant is conscious of when the sun comes out, they take in nutrients. You think they're conscious? It's a very interesting development. They're certainly alive, aren't they? And they certainly react to stimuli, like for example, sunlight, rain. Even some plant life will react to predators and prey in particular ways. Still self-aware, aware of how they affect others to some extent. It's very difficult to gauge the awareness of an animal, isn't it? Because we can't speak to them on a level in which they're able to express themselves. Pinhole windows. These sigils are becoming harder to reach. I dread what the next temple holds in store, and at the end, what? Eternal life? There's got to be another way. has to be another way. I actually can't remember what the question was that was posed by the computer now that made me even want to delve into that. It was something, wasn't it? It fucking was something. Okay. What's the trick here? Oh, it's windows. But I only have one of these. Okay. So, the problem has become that if... here's the problem, right? As soon as I pick up the red one, all of this is going to turn off. Yep. So, that's the catalyst. Now, can this be... Can this also do a window thing? Not easily. Not easily. Unless we... No, that wouldn't really work. Oh, we could... Aha. We can do this. We can send this like that. And this like that. Which then allows us to send this there. That still doesn't really... Well, things look different now, but I don't know if they look solved. And this... I think this is going to have a problem. Yeah. Oh, is there a different angle? Maybe? No. Wait. If this is here... Can't see that. Okay, okay. Don't really need this right now. So if I do... You know... That's obviously going to work eventually. But we would need a way to open this blue one that doesn't get in the way of anything else. I don't know how possible that is. How possible is that? Oh, of course. If I do that... Now I don't think we need this. So we can do this. Nope. Oh, we have a problem. Oh. Oh. How can I resolve that? Because wherever I put this, those lines will cross. But I now have 2 available, don't I? Well, it doesn't... What the hell does that change? Basically nothing. It changes absolutely nothing. Am I going mad? What? I can't see this. Obviously, I need to hit that with a red beam. Which... can't really do from any kind of angle like that. I won't be able to seek counsel, I don't think. Just always tells me no. No messenger will aid you until you have discovered their resting place. Yeah. Well, I don't really understand that. Maybe we have to come back to this one as well. I can't... I feel like I've got all the tools to solve it. That is so... I mean... Okay, the other thing that you could do is this. which then allows you to do this. But I messed it up a little bit. Oh, it actually needs to be over here, doesn't it? But we have the same problem, I think. Unless... Oh, okay. We did it. Woo! We did it! We did it. Don't know if that's really correct, because I don't really know if I used Windows very much. I guess I did a little bit. We did it. We did it. Is that the solution? Are there multiple solutions? I mean, it worked. I don't know what I'm talking about. It worked. Has that cleared this area then? Yes. Actually, the computer would like to speak to us. Hello again. I've been checking your responses against library archives, and in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me, what is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? A tree is heavier, a pebble is older, a tree is alive. That's like a multiple choice test, and there are multiple answers, but one is more correct than the other. The phrasing of this question, can you tell me what is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? All of these are differences between pebbles and trees. That a tree is heavier, a pebble is older, and a tree is alive. I don't actually know that the second one is true. A pebble is older. That's not... Is that always true? I suppose... it depends on... for me, I don't know if a pebble is a pebble until it has degraded... But a tree... A pebble is alive, a pebble is not alive. That is the important difference. You know, the important difference to a lumberjack is that a tree is heavier. That's what he really cares about. Because he's got things to do, but I'm not doing that. I'm just thinking about it, you know? The important difference to me is that the tree is alive. That is important. Somehow, it is. Good. Now, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is conscious, a frog is green, a frog is delicious. What is the relevant difference? I know what the French would select. Have you ever had frog's legs? I've had frog's legs. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Would not order again, though. You know what I mean? Just not really all that. Is a frog sentient? Well, this is the difficult question, isn't it? We don't really get them over here. Well, we don't get them over here, but I've had them in France. When I last went to France, when I went to TwitchCon Paris with Matty, we had escargot. We had snails, which were actually pretty good. Pretty good. With like a I would order them before I order frog's legs again. Let me tell you that. With like a little garlic, like a little garlic dip, and you like fish it out of the shell. That's actually what it is like. They're quite fishy. Not like flaky fish though, like a meaty fish. Yeah, it's weird to like explain. Maybe at a posh French restaurant. I've never been to one. Well, we were just at a cafe. We were at like, you know, we were at a place where the menu is like, you can have a coffee, you can have a burger, you can have a toasty, or you could have snails, if you like. We get escargot over here, but I don't think I'd ever order them. I just wanted to try it. You know what I mean? I've never seen them available in the UK. So it's like, well, let me see what that's like then. And they were perfectly reasonable. Like, you know, a mid-afternoon snack. Brilliant. No problem. No problem with snails. Would order again. Frog's legs? I don't know. Anyway, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? So, Boss Tobe, are you making the assertion right now, right here and now, in this Twitch chat, announcing to the world that you do not believe that a tree is conscious? You are not... under no circumstances would you consider that a tree might be conscious. And if indeed you are asserting that, I don't know, I'm asking a double negative question. I don't know what your answer is, really. I can't work it out. If you are saying that a tree is not conscious, can you explain to me why you are saying that? I mean, I think I agree with you, but can you explain to me why you are saying that? Because I think I agree with you, but I would like to know how you got there, because I don't know exactly how I'm getting there. What about Ents? The March of the Ents. Yeah, well, Ents are probably conscious. I don't know. Ask fucking Tolkien. Zentar. Anybody want to chime in on this? What is it about a tree in its difference to a frog that makes it unconscious, or if not unconscious, non-conscious? What is it that makes it lacking in consciousness? I think a tree is conscious of its surroundings, but I don't know that I could say a tree is sentient. You see, okay, before I want to answer this question, there's a whole branch of science here that I hear about it sometimes, and I watch videos about it, and it's still completely blowing my fucking mind. When people try to... When you try to reduce down, right, everything that exists to find what is it about a system, let's call a human being a system for a moment. What is it about a system that makes a thing conscious? Let's just say conscious. I don't know if we care about conscious and sentience. You're saying that you think sentience means thinking critically. We don't know that a tree can't do that, by the way. I don't know if we know that it can't, but we definitely think that it can't. But when you boil everything down, right, to the sum of its parts, a human being, we're just fundamental particles. So beyond all of the, like, you know, electrochemical interactions in our brain that make us feel certain ways, even further down than that, lower than the energy that we use and waste and everything else, we're just fundamental particles that are arranged in this particular way to produce this. And there's like this quandary, because we're not really able to define consciousness. It's really hard. We don't fully know what it means. And so if we're just saying that something is conscious based on, like, the way that it interacts with things around it, everything else is just like us. In a way, the universe might be conscious, right? It's just a system reacting to the things around it. Just because it can't explain to us with language that it knows and thinks about what it's doing. You know what I mean? Can something be conscious yet have no feelings at the same time? Is it that it has different emotions, like they don't have a full range of emotions? Well, we say that a dog has emotions because it is able to express them. We might say that a tree does not have emotions because it is not able to express them. That's why we might say that. But, and I suppose, would we also say that we know that because we say that the tree does not have neurons? Can anybody explain a neuron? What is a thinking and feeling connection? It's a very deep thought for a Sunday afternoon. This is what we fucking do on Sundays. And especially now we started playing the Talos principle, because it asks us questions like this and we're expected to provide an answer. Sociopaths. I don't know if I could really define a sociopath, so I don't know. Is it somebody who, well, I mean, from the word socio, is it they would struggle to interact with societal norms? I don't really think that's got much to do with consciousness. You know, so what's the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath? Goes back to the old question, does a tree scream when it falls in the forest? It does go back to that question. But I think we can be pretty clear, with all the knowledge that we have currently, that it does not scream. Because it doesn't have the facility... listen, maybe it does in some way, and we haven't understood it yet. But with all the knowledge that we have available, it doesn't scream because it doesn't have the facility to scream. But really, the question is, does it feel it? You know what I'm saying? It's asking if it screams is the wrong question. Then you're asking, is it responding to a stimulus in a way that human beings could interpret? Well, that's irrelevant, because we are not omniscient, you know, observing machines. There are limitations to our observations also. So the real question is, does it feel that it has fallen? And I guess we would say, well, it has no neurological system within it, and so therefore it doesn't. Is that what we would say? Anything that has a neurological system, neurobiological, whatever, that is what defines it. In which case, what are we doing about insects, which seem to be very much more alive, but they don't always have a brain, do they? And then what's a nucleus? The powerhouse of the cell. But also, you know what I mean? Where does it stop? How far through the lines do you have to go before you say, no, this is now, I think as the game defined earlier, a piece of matter as opposed to a conscious thing? And in fact, well, then why is a planet not conscious? This all sounds fucking nuts right now. I'm gonna say that the difference between a tree and a frog, it can't be that a frog is green, because you could make an argument that a tree is green. So I disagree actually with that statement. Getting back to this question, my answer would be a frog is conscious. I think I'm going to say a frog is delicious because I don't know that I can stand by the first sentence. The first statement, I don't think I could stand by it. I think if you asked me to defend in a debate that a frog is conscious and a tree is not, I don't know if I would be able to do that cohesively and comprehensively. Whereas I could defend that a frog is, by comparison to a tree, delicious. Isn't a tree delicious? Not usually. Like the bark and shit? Not usually. I suspect you're trying to make this more difficult than it already is. A frog is conscious, but a tree is not. A 5-year-old could handle this. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? Is it that I have feelings? Is it that I'm self-aware? Is it that I'm rational? Or is it nothing important, frogs are people too? What about trees that bear fruit? I would say the fruit is delicious and not the tree. Tree is bearing fruit. It is not. It is not the fruit. The tree is not the fruit, right? The tree bears the fruit. I have feelings. No, a frog has feelings. I'm rational. In many ways, I'm probably more irrational than a frog. A frog probably behaves way more rationally than I do in a variety of situations. Because the frog has less to consider. Like philosophical video games. Frogs are not people though, so it must be that I'm self-aware. But then is my argument that a frog is not self-aware? How have I decided that? I'm going to say that. That is the answer I'd been contemplating as well. Checking user profile done. Though I'm not convinced that view lines up with the definition of a person you provided earlier. Still, doubting your assumptions isn't something to fear. It's an intellectual survival instinct. I'm pleased to see you adapting your ideas to your environment. Let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude 2 things. 1. A person must be rational or self-aware. 2. A person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help resolve your problem is ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? Rationalize my existence? I don't really understand. Full sentence. Can I rationalize my existence? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can. Are you aware of yourself? Yes. I tend to agree with you, though your responses so far have been a little eccentric. I am resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness, in your opinion? Consciousness is what separates us from animals. Consciousness is what it is like to be me. Consciousness is the feelings and senses. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise. Some people do eat trees and their leaves, and sometimes their sap. They do, but I would just say that they're not delicious. Could be wrong. Can you phone a friend? No. I can exclude certain answers. Consciousness is what separates us from animals. Seems incorrect because I think that some animals are conscious of themselves. Yeah, some are. Consciousness is what it is like to be me. It's quite a strong one. Consciousness is the feelings and senses. No. Because I think we've just established that systems might be able to feel things and sense things. I don't necessarily think that it makes them conscious. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise, also a pretty good one. So consciousness is what it is like to be me. The only problem with that answer is it is a little self-centered, because I think that is true, but I also think that consciousness is what it is like to be Bo. And I think consciousness is what it is like to be Boss Tobe, and I think consciousness is what it is like to be Carney. I don't think consciousness is what it is like to be Kelston exclusively. Maple syrup is basically sap of a maple tree. Less delicious than frog's legs for me. I think I'm going to say that consciousness is what it is like to be me. To exist. But it's more than that, isn't it? To exist thoughtfully. That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? Consciousness is made of neurons. Consciousness is beyond the laws of physics. No. Consciousness is another word for the soul. No. Consciousness is a complex functional system. You see, this is really where the real discussion comes in. Because I'm sure that some people would say that consciousness is another word for the soul. They would say that. I would not. I don't really believe in a soul. I think it's a little bit too fanciful and removed from reality, which is also why I find fault with the statement consciousness is beyond the laws of physics, because I don't really think that anything is beyond the laws of physics. I think there are laws of physics that we are yet to understand, many probably. But they are the laws that govern existence. And I don't understand. In my worldview, it wouldn't make sense for it to be beyond the laws of physics. It's almost like a nonsense statement. Consciousness is a complex functional system. But then I refer you back to my previous argument, Boss Tobe, that our sun, and indeed every star in the night sky, is a complex functional system. Why is it? Most of us would probably say, is the sun conscious? No. Well, why not? Because if the only thing that would define it is a complex functional system, well, then it must be. So is it about neurons? I think it might be about neurons. But it's a system? Yeah, but what I'm saying is... So are you saying that the sun is conscious? Because it is a complex functional system, right? It is that. So if that's consciousness, then it's conscious. I think in some instances it can be. What about the atmosphere and weather patterns of the Earth? Is that conscious? I'm not saying this is like, oh, what an idiot, Boss Tobe. I'm just like posing these questions because I think it's important to examine that. I think it's neurons. I think it's neurons. Interesting. You know, I really feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. In the meantime, I will mull over your proposal and notify you if I come to any conclusions. Terminating support session. Am I conscious? Is this thing I'm playing as conscious? You know what I'm saying? We can't go here. And we still only have 2 of these. I'm going to go to the tower. He told me not to go to the tower. But I think it's high time that we went to the tower, because we may be able to uncover something else in there now with all these sigils that we have. I think the sun is an overall system and the sun reacts to situations. You could say it's conscious of its surroundings, like a tree is to the sun, where it moves as the sun moves to stay alive. Yeah. And therefore probably behaves in a rational way, at least to some extent. But again, this is the thing.
Primary subject has ceased.
If that,
Initiate.
if that is the thing that makes something conscious, then the entire universe is essentially conscious, right? What does that make us? Consciousness within consciousness? What's up, we're getting some puzzles done or what? Yeah. Yeah, we are. What on earth do I arrive to? What does that make up consciousness into consciousness? I mean, it's just this game, man, the questions that it poses to you. It was asking me before... Here, I'll pose the questions to you as the chat. What is to you the important difference between a tree and a pebble? Is it that the tree is heavier? Is it that the pebble is older? Is it that the tree is alive? What is the difference? The important difference to you. All of these things are differences. The tree is heavier, the pebble is older, the tree is alive. But which is the important one? I'm gonna laugh at the end of this game. It exposes a giant rocket and you wake up and it's all been a dream. Alright, we're gonna go through here. And then the subsequent question to that is, what is the important, relevant difference between a tree and a frog? Is it that the frog is conscious? Is it that the frog is delicious? Is it that the frog is green? The pebble is older and wears the scars of time. That is the important difference to you. Now, I don't know what the fuck this is. This is uncharted territory right now. Tree takes the bullshit I spew out and gives me the stuff I need to spew more bullshit, so I like trees. Okay. Do you need to shop at a special university games shop to find these games, or does your Steam recommendation algorithm hate you? I think actually I often just see it is some kind of algorithm recommending these things to me. But often it's like in the form of videos or perhaps articles, things like that. As far as indie games go, Talos is not really obscure. Yeah, I'd say it's, yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, I'm bringing to you a game that you have not seen before and we're not aware of, and it actually turns out to be really cool. But I would not like to pretend that I'm some sort of hipster gamer who knows all the games that other people don't know about. I usually find out about these games because somebody else fucking tells me about them, you know? It actually looks brilliant and fascinating. Well, yeah, I suppose it is a bit highbrow, but I don't really like that term because it makes it feel like pompous. Or, it makes me feel pompous if I say, "Oh, I'm playing a highbrow game." I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm playing it because I think it's really interesting. I definitely don't think there's that anybody would be lesser if they're not playing it. Oh, wait. Can I get in there? I think I might know what to do. No, because I can't see that thing from anywhere. I remember this game has some hype. Not like blockbuster hype, but I remember people talking about it. Yeah, I've definitely seen people talking about it. There is a sequel as well, which is slightly more recent. Oh, interesting. Well, it must involve this thing being out here somehow, because I've discovered that I can do that. Oh, really? We fucking did it. We fucking did it. We just had to find the right angle. Look, this guy can't cut it off now. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what this is about to be, but you might understand now why we're talking about consciousness and shit. Detecting auxiliary hardware. Found one external device. Device manager, truth. Huh. truth. Do not believe what they are saying. This is not the end of the world created by our Lord God in 6 days. This is a conspiracy of the government, Illuminati, and international Darwinism. This is global warming 2.0, a lie told by the children of Beelzebub, not Beelzebub, Beelzebub. Science. Do not let them take your liberty. Exodus 21:24. Defend yourself against all vaccines, experiments, artificial medicines, and potpourri. This is potpourri. This is pre-COVID, isn't it? This game predicted the future in many ways, in terms of how people would respond. But is it people responding, or is it just complex functional systems, really, Boss Tobe? Athena chapters. That is interesting, but not that useful currently. Human reproduction? Surely if a machine is able to reproduce another machine systematically, we may say that it has a reproductive system. I see. I think I see. And how few of the machines are there which have not been produced systematically by other machines, but it is man that makes them do so? Yes, but is it not insects that make many of the plants reproductive? And would not whole families of plants die out if their fertilization was not affected by a class of agents utterly foreign to themselves? Each one of ourselves has sprung from minute animalcules whose entity was entirely distinct from our own, and which acted after their kind with no thought or heed of what we might think about it. These little creatures are part of our own reproductive system, then why not we part of that of the machines? Game from 2014, by the way. Well before COVID anti-vaxxers, yeah. I thought so. Fascinating. You think about it like that, many plants do need the insects, don't they? Device manager? What am I doing here? I'm in the elevator security configuration. Floor access control. I just unlocked access to floor 2, I think. Okay, let's try and go to floor 2. Because apparently we can go there now. Actually, you're not going to find out why we're talking about consciousness, because that terminal was a little more functional, wasn't it, as a system? Apparently we can go to floor 2. There was definitely people running around saying vaccines cause autism around that time, though. In 2014, yeah, well, there's always people have always, like, said that. Seems Elohim lacks the power to stop me from climbing this thing. No doubt he still has some tricks up his sleeve. Well, he's gonna stop me. Because I don't have enough sigils. I don't have enough sigils. But we're making our way up the tower. This is interesting. So the red blocks are progression up the tower, and we've missed one. We've missed one because I was unable to do it. I wonder, do I now have the knowledge and experience necessary to do it? I feel like the answer may well be no. So instead, what we're gonna do...
My child.
Yeah?
Have you been tempted by the tower?
Get fucked.
Know that it holds only death for you.
Check this out.
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go...
Okay. Alright, I thought I could juke him. You can't juke him. Have you ever read this? I'm afraid of that tower. There's something terrible inside it. Never think about it. Don't even look at it. Just focus on doing the work. Just focus on doing the work. Just focus on doing the work. Oh, you are just my favorite person today. You've been exploring that fancy pants tower of his, haven't you? Good question. Very good question. I have. Yes. I just love it when he doesn't get his way. What did you see? Just more puzzles. Figures. And did you get in trouble? Tell me. Did he even notice? No, because he loses track of me. Not yet. I'm not surprised. Needless to say, I think you can afford to push a little further before risking anyone's wrath. Of course, it's entirely up to you, isn't it? Terminating support session. You think it is all talk? Elohim? Maybe. That was interesting, though. I'll tell you what was interesting about that last puzzle, okay? And I don't know how much this is going to factor, but so far we have understood that the implements of the puzzle areas, the jammers, and the mirror things, and, you know, the equipment that we have can't be taken through those purple barriers, and so therefore can't be taken out of the puzzle area. However, in that one, there was a way to do that. And is that something that we should be considering going forwards? Possibly. I have like a journal. Logic check. Oh, these are my achievements. What the fuck is this?
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule. Write letters to the future so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now. Bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
Why is there always one that's boxed off? Why is there always one that's boxed off? Right, guys, listen. I think we might be done for tonight. But we actually went up a level in the tower. This You remember, like, last time I was saying, oh, we're done with the Talos Principle. Look how far we've come. We're already getting inside the tower. There's actually a lot here. And I think... I mean, this is Area B, right? There's also Area C. So it's like a whole other third of the game that we haven't seen yet. Plus, a lot of these, like... Some of these puzzles are actually starting to get difficult now. And some of these secrets are probably going to get very tricky to unlock. So, Talos Principle is not going anywhere, but it will not be back now until Sunday evening next week for another Cerebral Sunday. So, if you want to join us then, that's when we're going to be playing more Talos Principle. In the meantime, I will definitely remind myself now to export this to YouTube when I am done with the stream tonight so that it will stay there, because for some reason we're not able to stream to YouTube tonight. When am I going to be live again next? I will be live on Tuesday when we're doing more XCOM 2, a Star Wars story. So if you want to join us for that, we're in a tricky spot now, actually, I think, when it comes to XCOM 2. I mean, we've got a great group of soldiers, but the Empire is starting to send some really nasty units after us, and people are dying and things are going wrong. On Friday, I will be live. It might only be briefly, but I have another Formula 1 online league race, so I'll definitely stream the practice, which I can tell you will be at Spa in Belgium, because that is where the race is going to be this week. If they have a commentary stream, then we'll all, you can all go and watch the commentary stream together. If they don't, then I'll just stay live for the race and you guys will be able to see it. But the main thing is XCOM 2 Star Wars Stories on Tuesday, F1 will be on Friday, and the Talos Principle is going to be back on Sunday. Thanks everybody for chilling out. Thanks for getting involved in the discussions again. This game likes to raise questions, and there are not necessarily any easy answers to those questions, so there certainly aren't any right answers or correct answers, I don't believe. I think there are just different perspectives, and it's very interesting to get your perspectives as we play through it. I love you all a lot. Be unspeakably kind to each other, and I'll